It's the late night football show if you are in Europe. It is the afternoon football show if you are in the Americas. And if you are in the Asia or Australia side of the world, it's early hours for you. Either way, holy cow, what did you make of that? The Arsenal versus Crystal Palace didn't turn out the way we wanted, but in the end, like Houdini, we escaped. Let's roll.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Happy Monday, everybody. It is a new week here at Highbury Squad Central. More great content coming your way. Monday night, under the lights at the Emirates. It was not the performance we wanted, but in the end, we escaped. Welcome to the show, my podcast brother from another mother. I'm sweating like swine. Super Kev, Super Kevin Campbell. My wires are twisted.
Hey, listen.
I've destroyed the neighborhood.
The mind's twisted. The eyes are twisted. The insides are twisted. The intestine. I mean, they put us through it, don't they? I mean, it's crazy. I'm going to get to that, my darling. Don't worry about that. I am going to get to that. But they do put us through it. But,
oh my God, Kev. I honestly, I know I'm wearing a beanie in California, but it's cold here. I am sweating like swine. When the Lacazette goal went in, do you know what I did?
What did you do? What were you beating? The furniture? Oh, you weren't beating Tony with that, I tell you.
No.
Oh, jeez. Well, listen, I'm sure the squaddies are in the house, so we give them the respect. Squaddies, at ease, and let's get into it.
All right, Kev, we already have almost 200 people in live chat. Good evening, everyone.
On the way in, hit the like button, everyone. No messing around. On the way in, just hit the like button.
And you know what? I'm bringing Vinny out now because we need it.
Yeah, come on, Vinny. Hit it. Listen, just hit the like button so we can get on with it. We got plenty to discuss here.
We do, Kev. Right. So I want to start with somewhere. By the way, everyone, hello, everyone. We salute you. I'm going to bring up your comments as I can throughout the show, okay? Hello to all the regulars. And by the way, I wanted to say a very special thank you to everybody who tuned in over the weekend to some of our premiere shows, including the amazing young Mikey Pooley and Talented Gooners.
Different class.
Which was a phenomenal show. Thank you, Kev, as well, for being part of that. And your show with Pippa, we've had a lot of folks say that they've heard Pippa on AFTV and BT Sports for a long time. But in that 30 minutes, they learn more about her than they have with all the work that they've seen with, you know, her work through these other channels.
Well,
let's just
that's the reason.
That's the reason why we do the show.
Reason why we do that show. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get to this. This is overwhelming already. It's insane. Kev, I want to start somewhere.
Go on, let's go there.
Sorry, I was just adjusting.
No,
you
steady
guys.
on. Come on. Hold on.
Okay. I have not been a fan of Arteta, and I've tried to find the silver linings, and I've tried to find the positives, especially lately. And I want to be supportive, especially with the platform that we have, to unite folks and say, okay, you know what? We're a work in progress. You lose to Unai Emery in the semi-final and we don't get to the Europa League final. Okay, you finish 8th, and then we're here now. And I've always said, if we're here in November and we haven't moved above that halfway line in the Premier League, I'm sorry. It's not good enough. We go 1-0 up, and I'm thinking my 3-1 prediction is looking pretty sexy.
My 2-0 was looking good and all. Don't worry about that.
And Aubameyang is looking on fire. I have to say, in the first half, he was amazing. Mm-hmm. He put in 2-3 phenomenal tackles, and he scored a goal, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Kev, after we scored the goal, we were rubbish. We were garbage. We lost control of the ball. We were absolutely off it without the ball. We couldn't retain the ball. Our midfield, Thomas Partey is like a one-man show in midfield.
If he don't do it, we're done, aren't we?
And you know what, Arsenal fans? You may not want to hear this, but I'm going to say it. My fringe is too fucking long these days. Oh, I swore. Shit. It's okay. We're over. It doesn't matter.
Hey, it's happened. After that tackle on Saka, by the way, that was a red card. Let me tell you.
But Kev, people want to bitch about Xhaka. He brings a level of containment, a level of control, a level of tenacity to the midfield, right? So
he is experienced. We can't say he's not.
You know what? I'm going to put this up. The whole team is not bang average. We've got good players. You know what? Who's bang average? Our manager. He was outclassed, outcoached, outplayed, outnumbered, outthought. You know that scene in The Fugitive when Tommy Lee Jones is like going after Harrison Ford? That's what I felt during this game, Kev. I'm not over-exaggerating. It's just getting old now. I've tried so hard to get behind this manager. And we didn't have anything after we scored the goal. And Lacazette, a player who some people have ridiculed, who some people have said is not good enough. And I've always said, you know, respect him. He does more than you think. And he's the one that we want to sell. And he saves us.
Well, he was a catalyst today, wasn't he?
Talk to me, Kev, because when he came on, we changed.
When he got on the pitch, we changed because all of a sudden there's somebody who wants to get on the ball, who wants to play, and who's happy. This is the difference. Who's happy to get on the ball at the top end of the pitch and bring other people into the game. We've said it all along, Sophie. But here's what I will say. I don't think we got out-coached at all today. Not at all. Not at all. Out-coached how? Our problems were we took our foot off the gas. We did say, Sophie, we did say after international break, that's going to be a massive test. Can we hit the ground running to where we were before to where we were now? And no, we weren't. We started off okay. You can't say we didn't. We started off okay. We looked energetic. And then all of a sudden, it's like all our energy went. All of our energy went. You get into half-time at 1-0 and you're thinking, Palace have been coming on a little bit, but, you know, they lack that little bit of quality. Then they set the traps for us. They set traps for us and we went right into the trap. They scored a goal, which was our ball. Both of their goals was from our possession. So that isn't out-coached. That isn't being out-coached. That's play from us.
Kev.
That's bad. Sophie, that's bad play from Arsenal. We're in possession of the ball.
Okay. I don't want to kill a new signing or a young player. But both of the goals came from terrible decisions by Sambi. He was absolutely horrific tonight. And those are the moments. Yeah.
He's a young player. We're going to get times like this with him. Again, we know he's good. He's been good previously, but you're going to get moments like this where the young player isn't at it. We're going to get it.
There's 400 in live chat. Welcome, everyone.
Hit the like button on the way in, people, please.
Yes, hit the like button on the way in. Otherwise, you know what? The team didn't do this, but if Super Kevin Campbell was playing tonight, you know he would have broken some necks.
So, you know,
Kevin.
It is frustrating, Sophie. And I feel your frustration because I'm frustrated. I am frustrated. We are, what we showed tonight, we're better than that. We are better than that. We scored a good goal to start with. We look lively. People been asking, Pepe's got to start. Pepe started. People say, we got to go for it at home. It was an attacking lineup. We look okay for 10, 15, 20 minutes. But that's not the game. The game is about when you're on top, you've got to finish teams off. But we seem like strangers, so if I'm honest. We seem like strangers.
How do we go from... Kev, explain this to me as a player, okay? Because Tony Adams was in the crowd tonight. Patrick Vieira was I spent the entire game arguing with George, who you love and know.
Love George, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's all like, Vieira, I love him. I'm like, stop. For 90 minutes plus added time, just consider him the enemy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't know if I can. Don't be soft, George. Come on. He's got to be the enemy, right? And he has to be. I love Vieira. We respect Vieira.
Oh, of course.
He is a legend of the club. But for this game, he's got to be the enemy. But I tell you something, he's taken Palace and Roy Hodgson's team from a conservative team to a team that love to play on the ground. And let's be honest, their loan deals with Chelsea, when you see the players that they have, and the youth that they've infused, they're exciting. They have a lot of talent. And they have energy. And they did it without Zaha and Eze as well, Kev. I want you to explain. I want you to explain to me, how do we go from bitch slapping Spurs the way we did to performing like this against the next legend who, I'm sorry, Mikel Arteta, you've got to beat. How do we do that, Kevin? What's the yin and the yang here? I don't get it.
Well, this is football, Sophie. Listen, you get all the plaudits and all the pats on the back when you whoop Spurs like we did. You get all the pats on the back, Sophie. But I've said it once and I'll say it again. The key to football is when you win that game, you have to move on. Fair enough, you enjoy it for the night or a couple of days, and then you have to move on. What's next? Then you have to deal with that challenge. We went to Brighton and we didn't perform, but we ended up with a 0-0, which I thought was a good point. You move on. I thought this was a worse result for us. And it's the same. And it's a worse result for us, but it's the same outcome. We get a point. But in my head, we just weren't at the races after for 70 minutes. And we got away with it tonight because Lacazette came on and showed that he really wants to play.
Yeah, he's the one we're going to sell. Kev, why don't we, do you want to go through the players and then it will kind of give us the narrative for the game a little bit more and go down that angle here a little bit?
Let's go Ramsdale, who I thought had a pretty good game, to be honest. He had no chance for the first goal. Second goal, I wasn't sure whether it got a little deflection. I'm not sure because he kind of moved to one side and it went in there above him. So maybe it took a little deflection. But he really didn't have much to do other than that, Soph. A few shots straight at him, but he had nothing else to do. The ball at his feet was good. His distribution was decent. So, I'm going to give Ramsdale 6 tonight, Soph.
That save before halftime was significant. He kind of made up for the mistake that he'd made before that. Kev, can I ask you this question? The second goal, should he have done better than that because it was in the middle? Yeah, or did it come at him too fast?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure whether it actually took a little deflection. Because when you see a keeper going one way and then it goes in above them, normally if it's coming straight at him, he would just do that, wouldn't he? But he's moving that way and it went in up there. So maybe it took a slight deflection of Ben White. But, listen, Palace, fortune favoured them tonight. They were trying to set traps for us. We fell into the trap. They nicked it, and then they're right in at our back, boys. And we just couldn't hold it. We just couldn't keep them out. So
I know. I will give him. I'll give him 7. I think he saved us, and at the same time, there was a slight. A lot of people are saying in chat there was a slight deflection.
Yeah.
But like K Marlon said, yeah, get battered at home by Palace. It's just ugly. Okay, who's next?
We're going for Tommy Yasu, a right back. Who again? Listen,
Another lesson.
Yeah, listen, I thought it probably would have been easier for him to play against Zaha, because Zaha would have been out there. He could be one-on-one, etc. The thing is with Edouard likes to drift inside, so he can't be picked up. That's the difficult thing for him at times. And at times he wasn't great on the ball. But do you know what, Soph? I'll give Tommy Yasu a 5. I thought his attitude is always first class. So
yeah.
His attitude is always first class. And, he puts... One thing I like about him, Sophie, you know what you're going to get? He puts his foot in. Mm-hmm. He don't care. He's going to put his foot in. So, do you know what? There ain't much that came down his side, to be honest. But where we gave the ball away at times, he gave it away at times as well. So I'm going to give him a 5 tonight. So
I always think it's interesting how a player plays when you switch the forward line as well, Kev.
Yes.
Right? And Saka didn't play in the second half. I thought Tommy was much more exposed in second half. I always feel like effort deserves praise, but I think it was another humbling welcome to the Premier League experience for him. And again, he wasn't playing against a Zaha or an Eze what would this game have been like, if they were playing?
That would have suited him more.
Because
Tommy Yasu more.
Because it would... Why, Kev?
It would have suited Tommy Yasu more because when Zaha plays out on that left.
Mm-hmm.
He stays there. It's easy. You know where he is. But when you've got an Odergaard who kind of starts there and starts to drift inside, remember, you've still got to do your right-back duties. So you still have to give the team width. You still have to be outside Ben White when he's got the ball, etc. Mm-hmm. You still have to get forward from that right-back spot, whereas Edouard doesn't have to get back as much. And then when you're trying to pick him up, there he is. He's on the inside, where he's harder to get to. But hey, listen, this is how things went for us tonight. We weren't great. We weren't great tonight. In fact, we were poor for 70 minutes. So
we were.
If I'm honest.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'm not bad-mouthing Tommy Yasu. When did I do that? I just said he's humbled. He's getting used to the Premier League. And he's been humbled in the last couple games.
Every team can give you problems. Yeah, that's right.
Also, we got bullied by Benteke, who has been ridiculed in the Premier League, and he bossed us tonight. So
I don't know. I don't know if he bullied us, Soph.
Kev.
I'm just saying, he didn't bully us. No chance. No way.
Well, we anyway. We'll leave it at that.
I disagree with you on that one. I don't think he bullied. They played better than us for 70 minutes. I agree, but or 60 minutes or whatever. But I don't think Benteke bullied us.
All right. 500 in live chat. Welcome to the post-game show here on the Highbury Squad. Have your say. Tell them, Kev.
Hit the like button on the way in, please, guys. Like Vinny is. Hit it. Just give it a little tap. Broke the neck, and we could get on with this.
All right. Who's next?
So what did you give Tommy, Soph?
I'll give Tommy 5.
Right. We're both on 5. You gave him... You gave... Kieran Tierney. Who again, I thought was okay. We didn't see as many swashbuckling stuff down the left-hand side. But a lot of the time, Soph, Palace was all set. It was set in their defensive shape. And it was very difficult to try and get on the outside. We saw him try it. We saw Martinelli try it at times, but they doubled up pretty well. So I'll give Kieran Tierney a 5. Soph, I thought we were okay, but we weren't great. Didn't really take the game to them.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like cult heroes getting away with things. And I think Kieran Tierney has been average this season. He was a brave heart last season, and this season he's a lone heart. There's something not right. And he could have scored at the death and he hit the crossbar. Got to be more clinical than that. You got to finish your dinner when you get the chances when you're served. And he did not. And I just think that some players get away with it because we love them so much. And there'll be more to come on that. So for me, Kieran Tierney struggling. You can say I'm harsh, MDog14, but this is what I believe. He's just not been that great. And I know that not a lot, I was talking to James Johnson, JJ, at halftime, and he said not a lot's going down his path, Kev, in the first half. Mm-hmm. We didn't really play down his channel as much, which is true, right? But he's not the same player this season. Gets a 5 for me. Mm-hmm. I expect more. And I don't think we should just let certain players get away with it when we criticize other players and kill them just because they're popular. So
well,
for me,
we agree on a 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Next is Ben White. Oh, I thought he had a pretty good game, to be honest. I thought his passing was good. But again, you know, when you turn that ball over in the center of the pitch, you're at, and they overload you. You are at the mercy of the strikers. I know, because I'm a striker. That's what you want to do. You want to be nicking that ball, so you're at the mercy. And you know, I thought Ben White was all right tonight, Soph. I thought he was a 6 tonight. I'll give him a 6.
His shot is the moment where it bounced back and Tierney had the chance to finish it and it hit the crossbar. We're not going to kill players again when they're not responsible for the loss. I don't think we were great defensively tonight. I think we were a little bit exposed, but I think the exposure came more from the flanks than down the middle. So for me, Ben White, he gets a 5.
Fair enough. And Gabriel, again, you know, I didn't think he had a bad game. But the key moments for them were when we were in possession and we gave the ball away. You know, that's what puts us in big problems. So again, you know, listen, I'm going to give Gabriel a 6 as well, because you know what? If he doesn't win that header in their box, we don't get the opportunity to score. Lacazette doesn't get the opportunity to score as well. Yeah, we were poor, but I think we were poor mostly from flanks, midfield. That's the areas that were key for us. So I'm giving Gabriel a 6. So
I was expecting more from Gabriel tonight, because he's become kind of a force at the back. And I just don't think that we handled things as well. But I'm going to say this when we get to the midfield, and I'll expand on it a little bit more, Kev. Our defensive line was a bit more exposed tonight because our midfield had zero control, and Thomas Partey was a lone man wolf in midfield. And I think that exposed Gabriel and Ben White. So if I'm giving Ben White a 5, I have to give Gabriel the same. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. At least the consistency's there. Okay, let's get to Thomas Partey. It's consistent. Thomas Partey. Listen, Sophie, for all the good that Thomas Partey does, getting caught on the ball in midfield with a ball, a dangerous ball, normally he's really good at manipulating it. But remember, me and you had a chat on Friday, and I said to you, if you're Palace, what you're going to do is you're going to try and set traps. Our midfield, I think it was Thursday as well, where we saying, if you're Palace, you're going to try and catch Arsenal at that point, because it's so important. If you nick it, you're in. And that's what they done. They trapped Thomas Partey. And Benteke, our defence was at his mercy, because he can go either way. And to be fair to him, he took the goal really well. He did. He took it well. And we just couldn't get back at him. And that's twice we done that tonight. That's how bad we were, Soph. We give it to them twice.
Wait, was it Sambi that... I thought it was Sambi.
Thomas Partey. It was Thomas Partey. In the midfield, they shut him down.
Who's not... Isn't Sambi number 23?
The person who got trapped for the first goal, Sambi wasn't even on the pitch. It was Thomas Partey.
Okay, I get that.
First goal was Thomas Partey. Second goal was Sambi.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Thomas Partey, again, he was the lone wolf, as you say, in there. Listen, he's the one who makes us tick. We were playing okay for 20 minutes, but the game's 90.
I thought it was Sambi that lost the ball on the first one too, Kev.
No,
23.
He weren't on the pitch.
Okay. All right.
No, tell a lie. He was on the pitch, but he passed it into Thomas Partey, who got robbed right just outside our box, and then that puts us in deficit.
But it was Sambi that I thought lost the ball initially. Anyway, either way.
Whether he loses it initially,
yeah.
The ball got played into Thomas Partey. He got robbed right outside our box. And Benteke took it on and scored. That's it.
Either way, they were both responsible tonight.
Well, again, our midfield... Do you know what? So normally, Thomas Partey doesn't get caught there. But for some reason, we just seemed like we didn't have any energy, Soph. After 20 minutes, we didn't have any energy.
No.
And that's what cost us in the end. Well, cost us 2 points. Luckily, we got back. I got a point out of it. But it wasn't a great game by Thomas Partey, although he keeps us ticking over. I give Thomas tonight I'm going to give Thomas Partey 5, Soph. I didn't think he was great. And he was a lone wolf in there, but I'm going to give him a 5 tonight.
Yeah. And also Lone Star, we're not going to crucify Sambi. We'll get to Sambi and stuff like that. We're not crucifying anyone. We're just being honest. Partey, this was the kind of game where some Arsenal fans and Josh, who wants to sell him, have their concerns about him in terms of his consistency and if he's the Don and the boss of the midfield. And today it felt like he was a lone wolf. I don't know. There was something about the midfield mix today that just didn't work. And I think that he was exposed. Yeah, there was. Yeah, he gets a 5 for me too, Kev.
Yeah. Okay, let's move to Pepe. Nicola Pepe.
Pepe before Odergaard, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, Pepe before Odergaard, because I'm going to go...
All right.
Aubameyang's at top and there's 4.
Okay, cool. 600 in live chat, Kev. 600.
So, well, listen, hit the like button on the way in, guys, not on the way out. So just follow Vinny, please. For me, Pepe's one of the most frustrating players we've got, Soph. He's got unbelievable talent, and you see it. And for Aubameyang's goal, his ability, he runs up, he gets the ball, 1-2, gets into the box, great effort, keeper saves it, and Aubameyang with a great finish. Pepe could do stuff, but we don't see enough of it, Sophie. In my eyes, we don't see enough of Pepe really committing people at the top end of the pitch. And we need him to be able to be one-on-one with their fullbacks. And it looks a bit late. It looks a bit laboured at times, and there's times where he worked back, which was good, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me.
Can I ask you a question? When a team has a formula and you're a team that's been struggling and you're trying to continue on a trajectory of consistency, why does a manager change it? Like, why bring in Pepe tonight? What do you think was the tactical philosophy to bring Pepe in after? Was it because of the way we played against Brighton?
Not necessarily. I just think he's watched videos of Crystal Palace, and he knows we're gonna get opportunities to expose them on the break, on the turnover. So that's why he done it. And as you could see, probably in the first 20 minutes was the best snapshot, where we're getting the ball, we're cutting through them, but without the end product. We didn't really have the end product until obviously we scored. But we look to be on the front foot. Now that then means that they have to adjust. And they weren't really causing us a problem in those first 20 minutes. But as soon as the energy goes out of our team, then you start seeing Crystal Palace get a grip of the game. That's the difference. Once they start getting a grip of the game, Edouard starts getting the ball in the space, in the hole, where there's only really Thomas Partey as the only midfielder. And he can't mark everybody.
I mean, could we argue that Pepe was also involved somewhat in both goals? So for as much as criticism as we give him, are we being so harsh on him because he comes with such a high price tag? And we keep saying the same thing over and over again. It sounds like a broken record.
So let's not mention the price tag. Let's not even mention the price tag, because the price tag to me means nothing anymore. He's our player. All I'm saying is, for me, he's involved in good stuff. Of course he is. Like I said, for the goal, excellent. We need to see more of that, Soph. That production, that positive side to his game. Because one thing, Soph, there's nobody who cannot say that young man isn't talented. He is mega talented. But it's the consistency, that's what we're striving for, Soph, aren't we? We're striving for this team to be consistently good. And we're just not there yet. We're nowhere near yet.
Yeah. And I feel for him, because I still think he's involved in some of even the Norwich,
things,
you know, even those moments, he's still part of those moments. But again, a little bit like, dare I bring this guy up? We think more about Xhaka's mistakes than what Xhaka brings to the team, this team, not because he's the best midfielder in the world, but because of what he brings to this particular team. Pepe, he does things and he's involved in our goals, but we remember the 60 minutes where we expect him to turn on this brilliance and be this kind of weaving, dribbling, passing genius that we just don't see. And it's too yin and, like I said, too up and down, Kev. It's too inconsistent. And I think that's why he gets the criticism that he does.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Okay. You mentioned about maybe we're a bit harsh, but what's he in the team for then?
Well,
he's in the team.
No, it's fair. It's fair, Kev. It's fair. I think he's had enough chances and enough time to prove what he can do in the Premier League. And I think that's a fair statement from you. You know, it's
because that's the question, isn't it? Okay, why do you play Saka? You play Saka because, one, you're looking for him to expose whatever side he's on. You're looking for him to link play. You're looking for him to be consistent. You're looking for him to either set goals up, deliver crosses, score goals. So you've got to ask the same thing of Pepe. Pepe is involved. Yes, he is. He is involved. And if Pepe's not there, we don't score that first goal. So again, he's involved in another goal action, which is great. But I want him one-on-one, because that's where he's going to be at his most devastating. And I don't think we get enough end product or enough 1v1s with him. I just don't.
Do you think, and the 1v1 is on the player versus what's around him, right, Kev?
Him and the fullback, basically.
I mean,
the fullback.
that you can't talk. Okay, that's nothing to do with tactics and strategy. When you're one-on-one with the player, that's your talent versus whoever's in front of you.
You got to beat him. That's it. I want to see Nicola Pepe, and it's not as if we haven't seen it, Sophie. We've seen him pick the ball up and absolutely torch people. But if he's in the team, that's what we need to see. If he's not doing that, then people are going to question him.
Kev, can you... Ryan says situationally, Pepe needs to be isolated.
Yeah.
Is
so
that...
basically, what that means is the isolation is he needs to be 1v1. So what we've got to do is we've got to make sure if the ball's on the opposite side, we've got to get him the ball quickly so he's 1v1 so we can have a go at him. But I've got to be honest, sometimes when they try and hit Pepe, he's in as opposed to being out. If he's out, that gives him more space to be able to attack the fullback. And it gives him more space to be able to receive the ball.
Okay, so are we disrespecting Palace's organisation then somewhat because
No, it's not a matter of it's not a matter of Palace's organisation. It's just a realisation for us of we do want our best players in the best positions to hurt the opposition. That's what we do want. Now, if we don't get Pepe in the right spots, what happens if we can't isolate him? That's the other thing. So does he just play and we don't do anything?
He's such a pickle, Kev. I try to, it's kind of like when a scientist is trying to crack a code for something. He's got the talent.
Chemistry, in it. The chemistry and biology, you got to put all the bits together, and it's all the mix and the mix. The blend has to be right, Soph. And at the moment, our blend ain't right.
Exactly. And I think, where is it? Christophe Michel, I want to find this comment. No, I didn't just burp. Hilarious. I didn't burp. Hilarious. Christoph said, these are the types of games Arsenal lost last year, which destroyed any chance of top four. It's true, Kev. You can't lose. We didn't lose. But it feels like we lost, doesn't it?
That's why I'm saying this feels a worse result than Brighton.
I agree with that.
You're away from home at Brighton. And, we're not playing well, but you nick a point, you get in the shower and you can forget about it. Now we have an international break and we've got a batch of games that we're thinking, right, do you know what? We win tonight and we win on Friday. We're in the top four, so.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, wow. But we couldn't raise our game, could we? We couldn't raise our game.
What do you mean, Lone Star? Palace won one. This is more reason to be upset about the result. Sorry. We are unbeaten in 5, but we're still disappointed. We're at home. We took the lead, and then we let a Palace team come and nearly take all 3 points. No, this is not acceptable. Come on. Exactly. Who's next, Kev?
Well, listen, I'm giving Pepe a 6. What did you give Pepe?
You know what, Kev? I think that sometimes every time we have a performance like this, there's always a scapegoat. There's always someone that everyone wants to pin it on. And I think it's unfair to pin it on Pepe tonight.
It's not Pepe's fault.
He puts an effort in, and I know he's not there, and he's not the reason we lost the game. He's not, and so I'll give him a 5.5.
If Pepe's not there,
those 2 goals,
we lose that game.
I agree.
Let's be honest. So again, for all I'm saying is, I want him to be a 7 or 8 every week.
I want him to be a 10.
No, but every
Let's start
week
somewhere.
I would take a 7 and an 8. That is consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
10 is out of this world, right?
Yeah.
If you get a player who's 10 out of 10 every week, wow.
But this, Lone Star, you made up for it now. You got to win your home games.
100%. Away from home, you could perform bad and nick a point. At home against Crystal Palace, we got to be winning this game. Next is Bukayo Saka, who I thought had a poor game today, to be honest with you, Soph. I thought Bukayo Saka was poor today.
So, Kev, I went out on a limb and I said I want to see the Saka for England at Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And it's just not happening lately. It's not the same.
It hasn't happened today, that's for sure.
No, it happened against Spurs, and I think that's his best game so far this season. But I would say this season, Saka has been poor, and he's not immune to criticism. I love him. I adore him. I want to protect him. I want to put him in my pocket and keep him safe forever and ever and ever. But we have to be fair. If you're going to criticise Pepe...
Say what you see, Self. That's what we're talking about.
And he was poor. And
I thought he was poor today.
I expect more from him. When you score a goal for England in midweek, this is why I say to you, is it because he's surrounded by better players? Is it better organisation? Is it a confidence thing? How does someone go from being like that for their country to coming back to their club and not performing the same way? I thought he was lost in the first half. I honestly heard his name when that foul. Let's be honest. I mean, MacArthur. That was do you know
terrible.
what? Do you know what else was terrible about that, Kev?
Right in front of the referee as well. What
is that about? And also the way he looked down at Saka as if to say,
Have some of that,
you little shit. That was disgusting.
And that's why I think Gabriel fronted him up. Was like, what are you doing? But the referee, honestly, I don't know if you've seen the replay of it again, but if anybody in chat sees the replay of that, he weren't even going for the ball.
No, he wasn't.
Volleyed him.
And you know what, Martin, you're right. If Xhaka had made that challenge, he would have been red carded all day long. It's a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. He gets a 3 for me today, Kevin. I'm sorry. It's harsh.
No, listen, I gave Saka a 4, so, and you give him a 3. I just thought.
Do you agree with Virginia here about him being played in the wrong position? To me, he seems like a player that can play anywhere, but...
No, Virginia, I don't think... listen, we've seen Saka play on the left, on the right, and in the number 10. We've seen him play well all over the pitch, so we can't use that as an excuse for Saka.
Okay.
I can't use it as an excuse. And 4, by the way, is below average. So let's have it right, everyone. 4 is about right. ESR, so Emil Smith-Rowe.
This kid tries.
Tries hard. He does try hard.
But again, a bit disappointing. He had a chance to score as well. He needs to be a bit more clinical in front of goal, Kev. But I will say he puts himself out there and he immerses himself into the game. Even when he's not having a good game, he's trying to immerse himself into the game. And I don't think he was helped today because of another player who I expect more of, and that's Martin Odergaard. Mm-hmm. I think he was a little bit like Thomas Partey today. There were 3 lone wolves today. 4. Ramsdale, Thomas Partey, ESR, and Aubameyang. And I felt like they didn't have the support around them to help them do what they do best. He made some poor decisions with his passing, Kev. I think he held onto the ball a little bit too long where he was trying to be a hero. And that...
There was one particular one in the first half.
Yeah.
Where he took a shot and Pepe was in. If he slides Pepe in just to the side, Pepe's 1v1 with the goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
And do you know what, Sophie? That is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That one pass could be the difference. You go 2-0 up, all of a sudden, Palace are dead.
Everyone's saying what you're saying, Kev. That
Palace
pass.
Are dead. That one pass. And you know what? It may look like just the simplest of passes. But ESR, you have to make that pass to make sure. I just think Pepe comes on and puts it in the corner. We're 2-0 up. And all of a sudden, Crystal Palace, some of their energy goes. But
and this is what you and I have talked about, Kev, is that sometimes the young players will learn from this, but they've got to be a little bit, that football brain. Don't try and be the hero, make the pass. Keep it simple. Football's a simple game. You say that all the time. Yeah. Stick to the basics. Make the pass when the player's there, right? Yep. I mean, it's an obvious thing, and I think he's done obvious. That. Well,
because he didn't.
Not to him.
Yeah, but it's obvious, you know, especially when you're watching it. When I'm watching it, I'm saying, just slide him. I'm shouting, slide him.
I know.
You know, I'm shouting, slide him, and he doesn't slide him. He hits the shot, and the keeper's happy. The keeper gets away with it. They didn't let us off the hook when we gave the ball away. So when we are in possession and we're attacking themselves, we cannot let them off the hook.
Yeah. All right.
Can't let them off the hook.
No.
So listen, I'm going to give ESR 5 today. I thought he tried hard, but
I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, you give him a 5 as well, so.
Yeah.
All right, Martin Odegaard, who I thought started off okay, but again seemed like he lost energy. So he lost a lot of energy today. He didn't look himself. And, you know, rightly got taken off because he weren't influencing the game as he normally does. So,
Kev, how many times did you hear his name in the first half?
Not a lot. although he was getting on the ball and just keeping it ticking, it's the areas around their boxes where we need him on the ball.
Okay, we've seen enough of this where, you know, those players who are the ball carriers, the masters and the commanders of driving forward, he needs to be, even if he's off his game, he still needs to have some consistency. This was one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Yeah. I will give him a 1. He was terrible. He did nothing. ESR was a lone man wolf. He offered no ability to, when he had the ball, he didn't keep the ball. When we were out of possession, he wasn't doing his usual kind of trying to track back, get the ball back. I thought he was absolutely terrible. I hardly heard his name called. We got to be fair and we got to call it as we see it. I need him to be consistent. He's got to be the quarterback of this team. And when you lose the quarterback of your team, Tom Brady has a bad game for the Bucks, they lose. Mm-hmm. You know, Fernandez has a bad game for Man United, they lose. Kevin De Bruyne has a bad game for City, they lose. Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, they lose. Odegaard today was awful, and he's one of the reasons why we lost. He was
gets a free from me, so
he gets 1 for me.
Yep, free from me, 1 for you, no problem. And last but not least, Oba, who I thought he set the tone today, Soph. I really did. I thought he set the tone. He was energetic. He was closing down. He scored a really good goal, but had no service.
I felt for him.
Yeah, he had no service. He was trying, but had no service. And then obviously once the energy goes out of us, you give them a goal second half and you give them a second goal and then it's all hands to the pump. You know, it's a tough one. But I thought Oba was our top guy today, to be honest. I really did.
We've all been crying out for Aubameyang to turn up, show up, be a captain, be a leader. In that first half especially, my God, there were 2 tackles he made and one that almost broke his ankle. And I was worried because I'm like, oh, please don't let him be injured here. The way he took his goal, Kev, was beautiful. He fought, he challenged, he led by example. He was up for the game today. You could see it. He was like, let's go. If we win, we're 1 point behind United, 1 point behind Everton. We are so up there. And I thought he delivered today, Kev, but unfortunately everyone around him was average. And there's a play that we're going to talk about eventually that if he'd come on earlier, maybe it would have been a little bit different. Aubameyang for me today gets a 7, Kev.
I agree with you. 7. I've got 7 down there. I just didn't have yours. 7 for him. Again, I thought Aubameyang showed a lot of industry. He was hungry to close the keeper down, close defenders down. But without a supporting cast, Soph, you know, he's a main striker. He gets his goal, which was fantastic.
He's a lone wolf, Kev. He's a lone wolf.
But he was a lone wolf. You're right. He was a lone wolf tonight. So let's go for Sambi to start with.
This is why, Kev, Odegaard's performance is so disappointing. Because he didn't put Oba in those channels. He never gave him an opportunity, Kev, did he? As a striker, you feed off what's behind you and what's to the side of you, Kev.
Yeah, but Soph, just check this out.
Yeah.
Striker is 7, and your midfield
is a 1.
No, hold on. Your midfield is 5, 6, 5.5, 4, 5, and 3 or 1.
How's he supposed to affect the game?
And he got 1. So I know we've criticised him in the past for not showing that industry, but now he does show the industry, and the midfield was poor. But again, it looks like, you know, the boys have just come back together again, and all of a sudden, right, come on, we got to get back on the horse. And we just didn't have the energy today, Sophie. It was a poor performance, and we got saved. We really got saved. So let's deal with the subs. Let's deal with Sambi first, who I didn't think he had a particularly good game when he came on. Sometimes he was decent in possession. But again, got caught out for Crystal Palace's second goal, and got to do better as far as I'm concerned.
Sam, if I'm giving Odergaard a 1, Sambi's got to have a. I don't want to kill a young player. He's, but I've also said, and I'm going to stand by what I've said. I've stood behind him and said he's ready to play. He's ready to be in this Arsenal team going forward. And maybe I'm wrong about that. And maybe I was wrong about that, Kevin, because what I saw today, that was so bad. I mean, he was awful.
I'll give him a 5. He made a mistake. He got caught on the ball. But we weren't great as a team today. So we weren't great as a team.
But I've okay, Soph's got to go. It was her birthday at the weekend. Happy birthday, Soph. Go get some rest.
Soph,
we
darling.
love you. Take care, and we'll see you on tomorrow night's show, okay? You take care, babe.
Take care.
I think you and I spoke at half time, and I'm like, we've got to bring Sambi on. We need more control in the midfield. We don't have any possession. And I actually think that he made it worse. And I've got to admit that, Kevin, but I have to say he's a player I've stood behind and I've said he's ready, but hands up when I'm wrong. I mean...
No, but I like the move as well. So I like the move because you're looking for and I'm sure the manager thought, right, let's get a bit of stability in the midfield. A bit more stability. We can control the tempo of the game. But we just weren't good. We weren't good enough. We didn't have the energy that Crystal Palace had.
They wanted us.
They wanted us. They were catching us. They were trapping us in midfield. And we didn't have the energy, Soph. And you know what? We just weren't good enough, Soph. It's that simple. So I give Sambi 5. What do you give him, Soph?
I'll give him a 1. And unfortunately, he came into a... Yeah. I thought it was I thought it was awful, Kevin. He was rubbish. I'm sorry. I've got to be honest. I've lauded him and said he's ready to start, but I have to correct myself when I'm wrong. Yes.
A 1 for one mistake.
Yes. It was costly. It was a costly mistake, Kevin. It cost us. Yeah, it almost cost us the game. We can't have that.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm just saying a 1, that's a bit harsh for me. But
well, that's okay. Everyone thinks I'm being harsh too. That's fine, but I'm sorry. If we're gonna criticize Pepe and be hard on Pepe when he affected the game, and again affected the game with a goal, and he was part of that, I'm not gonna give someone a good rating when we
never said no. I'm not talking about good. Come on, Soph.
1. It's a 1. Yes, he's a 1.
Okay. Okay, let's move on then. Move on. Lacazette, who I thought was a real catalyst for a lot of what we done well tonight, to be honest with you. We looked to be a threat when he came on the pitch. And obviously he comes up with the equalising goal in injury time. Much maligned. We know he's probably going to be leaving the club in January at the end of the season. And there's quite a few people who question him. But Sophie, we did look better once he got on the pitch, didn't he?
Kev, I'm going to say this again, and my boy Chris Carpenter from our Le Provence squad will agree. Everyone who wants Lacazette sold, check yourself before you wreck yourself. 2 players. You may not think that they're world class. That's fine. But in this particular Arsenal team, there are 2 players that do and help the team. One is Xhaka and one is Laka. And I'm not trying to be a poet because I don't know it. But Lacazette, Kevin, I've said many times he's our Bobby Firmino. Mm-hmm. Bobby Firmino got lauded for a hat-trick this weekend and everyone was talking about how, now everyone's lauding him. He doesn't get the goals. But what he does to help Salah and Mane be the players that they want to be is so important. Lacazette has been a total professional at this football club. And even though he may not be staying, he comes in and he does a job. He's never moaned. He's never complained. He's never gone public. He's never criticised the club. He's never bitch-slapped the club. He's never said anything bad about anything, despite the fact that he's going to move on. Lacazette helps this team Kev, we were completely different. Tell everyone why. You've always said we are better when he plays that number 9 role. Again, you're correct, and it's evident again, Kevin.
Number 9 role, he wants to bring other players into the game. Now, maybe against another team, it might not have worked. But especially this game, when Lacazette comes on, he wants to get the ball in and around the box. He wants to play with people, play 1-2s. You saw him and Aubameyang with a great move where the ball gets played into Aubameyang. Aubameyang cuts it inside the centre half, and Lacazette tries to bend it around the keeper. That was beautiful. That was a combination play from a front 2.
2, Kev.
From a
Tell
front
him.
2.
You and Hilsey have said this many times on the Tuesday-ish Club.
Combination, you need a combo up top who could link together. It is so important. And I know he's leaving. Look, he's not a spring chicken anymore. I know all this. But you know what? He's still a fantastic footballer. And we need footballers like that because, do you know what I see at times, Soph? We got nobody to hit. We got nobody to hit who's just going to make the ball stick and make us a better team. You look at all the teams in the league who are good. They have someone they could hit up top and it could stick. The ball can stick at the top end of the pitch. For us, we don't really have that.
And Kev, how many times have you also said on this show, we're so poor off the ball? But Lacazette off the ball is so good. He's good on the ball and off the ball.
But you see what happens with Lacazette, so once he starts getting on the ball, people start moving. Why? Because he buys the time so other players can move, because he's good at holding the ball in difficult situations, in attacking situations. Once you've got hold of the ball, then other people start moving. Why? Because someone's got control of it up there. When the ball's bobbling up and down and going back and forth, and this, you can't make it move because you don't know. If I don't know you've got the ball, I can't move.
And Kev, wouldn't you agree that, and I agree with Akram of the energy, but even Aguero was prolific in front of goal, but also the way he's able to, he's got that low sensor and the low gravity,
yeah.
right? And then Firmino, the same thing. When you look at these players from these teams, he offers.
It looks easy, so.
But it's not, and he offers something, and Oba feeds off him so well.
Well, Oba knows, as a striker, Sophie, do you know what Oba knows? Just like when Ian Wright played. When Ian Wright played... You
did his dirty work.
Well, if you get hold of the ball, any little setup, who's next? Who's the ball going to? It's going to Wrighty. So he's always on the move because he knows it's coming. When the ball's in the air, Wrighty knows. Just get him behind, because you know what? I might not win it, but I will bump the defender so the defender don't win it. So Wrighty's one-on-one. You know that isolation thing?
Unsung hero work. Unsung hero work. And that's what Lacazette does. That's what you did for Wrighty. That's what you've done your entire career. And this is what players like Firmino do in the modern game as well, Kevin. And I tell you something, I will miss him when he's gone. And I don't think he's been... I think Arsenal fans don't appreciate... not Arsenal fans, some Arsenal fans don't appreciate what he brings to the table.
Okay, you're right, Kev. You're right. Nice one, mate. Listen, I give Lacazette 7 tonight. I thought he was real energy off the bench. I thought he came on with an impetus. And do you know what, Soph? I think after he won a corner or whatever, he's getting the crowd involved. That's what I wanted to see. He got the crowd going again. And to come up with an equaliser, and if we're honest, Soph, we didn't really deserve it.
We didn't.
But we take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not
absolutely
good. It was a worse result for me than Brighton, although it was the same points. We got a point. But he came up with an equaliser, and, you know, I've got to give him credit for that.
He gets an 8 for me, Kev, just for that. He saved us a point.
He gets an 8 for you, okay.
What did you give him, Kev?
I gave him a 7. I gave him the same as Aubameyang.
All right.
And
Actually, you know what? 7. Same as Aubameyang. I agree with you. 7. Yes, you're correct.
Joint man of the match.
Legend. Yes.
Joint man of the match for us. And we saw Gabriel Martinelli. Soph.
Yes.
He came on the pitch, and I thought he looked really lively, if I'm honest with you. I thought he gave us something as well down that left-hand side. They doubled up on him, and he was positive. He was putting crosses in the box. He worked hard. And I know he wasn't on a long time, but he was on a short time. But what I saw, he was taking his chance. So, and obviously he was on, and then we got the equaliser in injury time. So you take it. So, you know, I'm going to give Gabby a 6, Soph.
I love him, Kev. I love him. I know he's coming off a little bit of a knock, so let's be fair, right? At least I was hoping in a game like this. What do you think about the fact that he came on with 10 minutes to go? I would love to have seen him get 20 minutes. We weren't doing anything. We weren't.
Well, who are you going to take off? That would have been the. You see, that was the issue maybe at the time. Lacazette was on, and now you want to see how things thrash out. You want to see, and remember, we started to open them up a little bit. We started to get a few chances. So,
I see your point.
As opposed to making that move then, so if we'd have equalised then you maybe think, okay, you know, we could win this.
What if we just take Pepe off?
Yeah,
switch.
You could say that, so. But if we equalise in that 10 minutes before Gabby comes on, then you think, right, we can go on and win this game because you've made the attacking adjustment with Lacazette. But now you're chasing the game because you're still 2-1 down. So that's when, okay, bring another forward on. You know, that's
okay. So what about Harry's? What if we'd have taken Tommy off and played 3 at the back? Would that have worked?
Well, you could have done that, but our problem was on the counter attack. We couldn't stem the counter attacks at time, and it's through our own poor play that gave Crystal Palace 2 goals today. So, do you take the risk of you've been bad, you've let them get 2 goals to leave yourself totally exposed at the back? I think there has to be a little balance.
I also think, Kev, that this game should open up some changes for Friday. It's a short week, 4 days in between the game against Villa under the lights on Friday night. And I think that
Lacaz's got to play.
Lacaz's got to play, and maybe Martinelli gets a shot. Maybe he does.
Lacaz's definitely got to play. I'm not sure how injured Saka is. Not sure.
I think Saka should be rested. And I guess Martinelli and Oba can't, because you're going to have to, if Laka plays, he's got to play down the middle. Oba's got to play on the left. Who would play on the right? If Saka can't play, would you play Pepe?
Pepe. Look, Pepe was involved in the goals. He was involved in the goals today, right? So if somebody who's involved in the goals, you say, okay, that was some production. We do need him better, so we know that. He knows that. But the fact of the matter is, if he's not doing it, then it's a Gabby comes on, doesn't he?
Would you drop Odergaard for Friday? Or would you just stick with him and plug him in there and say, you got to perform, you got to be better?
I look at it like this. I would look at Villa. I'd look at the video of Villa. And it might even be Odegaard sits down and you play Smith Rowe in there. That might be the case. Do you know what I mean? Or because I still think against Villa, you're going to need 2 sitting midfielders.
I would mix it up on Friday. I think we need a shot in the arm. I think this was really poor today. And Kev, a lot of people in chat, and I know we're not. Are we done with the subs or not yet?
Yeah, we're done with all the subs. We're done with everybody.
Okay, we're going to get to the manager, but a lot of folks are asking you, and I'm sure we'll cover it in Thursday's show. But some folks are saying, should we give Nuno a chance and maybe rest Tierney for a game on Friday?
No, I can't see that happening. I can't see it happening, no. is your
Should
first
it have,
choice.
whether you can't see it or whether you think you should see it? Okay.
No, I don't think so. I don't think. Look, Kieran Tierney isn't his swashbuckling self, but I didn't see them multiple attacks going down this side and him getting exposed out there. That's what I don't see. And again, our problems were all our own doing, and that was all from the midfield. So
I agree. Kev, do you think I deserve a straight red for... Did I crucify Sambi or did I just criticise him for having a poor game today? You decide. Do I deserve a yellow or a red? Lone Star is asking you the question.
I don't think you crucified anybody. You say what you see. And listen, I was one, I said Sambi had a poor game. You know, I gave Sambi a 5. He did cost a goal. Well, he got caught on the ball, which led to a goal, which is easily dealt with. But again, we seem to lack the energy for some reason. I'm not sure why. But you weren't ultra critical. You told the
All right.
truth.
Just wanted to ask because I want to give you the option for carding me as well. Right, the manager.
Yeah.
Oh, Virginia says I crucified him a little. You know what? He was rubbish. He was not good.
Yeah, he wasn't good, but
But
it
he's
happens, guys. Come on.
I gave him a 1 because I'm sorry, Thomas Partey deserved a few more marks than a 1 because he did more in the game to affect the game. Sambi came on in the second half, made a terrible mistake that led to a goal, and he did not recover from that. He was terrible. So you guys disagree with me. That's all cool. I love that. It's all good. I'm not trying to crucify Sambi. I'm criticising him for having a bad game. And if you guys want to go rewind all the shows we've done, Kev will tell you. I've said Sambi's ready, and I'm his biggest fan.
Yeah.
That's it. Right.
Mikel Arteta, Sophie. Let's get to the manager, Mikel Arteta.
Sorry, Kev. I've tried to defend this guy. I really have.
You say what you see.
You cannot you cannot lose to. I felt like a loss, but we drew. But it feels like a loss.
Well, don't say lose to, though.
You got to perform better against Vieira. You've got to do better against a Crystal Palace side that no doubt. When I was on TalkSport last night with Paul Ross, I said Anderson, all of the Alisi, Gallagher, these players, they're good players. They've gone for youth. You saw that energy. Tonight.
They've got energy.
The energy. They were good.
Edouard, they're good players. Don't take them for granted. I tell you, don't. For me, you have to turn up.
Exactly. And for me, Kev, it feels like a loss. Arteta, if I'm going to give Sambi a 1, then I give Arteta a 2. I think he should have brought Martinelli on earlier. I think that, we mismanaged the game after the goal. Go kill them. Crucify them. Get another goal. Take the handbrake off. Let rip.
Sophie, there was an opportunity, but Smith Rowe shot instead of passing it.
I get it, Kev.
I'm telling you. Listen, if that happens, and you can't, that's not down to the manager. That is down to the players. The player, when you see Pepe in a better position, give him the ball. Just give him the ball. You go 2-0 up.
How much of this are we going to see? How much of this are we going to continue to see from him? You've got to beat these kinds of teams at home. I am signing up for counselling soon if this carries on.
This is a real poor result for us. No doubt whatsoever. And listen, I'm not giving Arteta a big mark on this because this was a must-win game. Really.
He plays 5 attacking players but then plays passive negative football. Well done. Thank you, Haji.
No, but he did. Hold on. Whoa.
It was like one of those.
Hold on,
it's
Soph,
like that aircraft that's stealth.
Yeah, but Soph, hold on a minute. I'm going to repeat. We've just been through the team. I'm going to repeat. Our midfield marks were 5, 5, 4, 5, 3, or 1, according to you. That is not up to the manager. It's up to the players.
Well, who cares about the... Wait, but I'm rating the manager now.
No. What I'm saying is you're talking about... You mentioned the comment about playing negative football. And I'm saying rate the manager, but playing negative football, it's the players on the pitch who play, whether they play negative or positive.
Do you know what I love about this?
The players.
Is that we haven't circled back to this conversation for a while because I've tried to be really positive over the run that we've had, but it's just too inconsistent. You cannot lose to Patrick Vieira at your house. It feels like, okay.
Yeah, but we haven't lost.
Okay,
You say we lost, but we haven't
felt like
lost.
a loss.
It feels like a loss. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, Soph, we did get a point. We didn't deserve it, but we got a point.
It's got to be better than that.
I know.
How are we going to play against better teams?
Sophie, we're only going to know that on the day.
Oh, man. I can't take it.
We could do all Sophie. Sophie, I get it. I give Arteta 4 today. It was a poor performance in the end. We scraped a point and we didn't deserve it. But let's be honest, how many times have we been on air and people said, why doesn't he go for it? Look at the players we've got. Why doesn't he go for it? And when he picks an attacking team, all of a sudden, and the team don't perform, he's making them play negative. Well, you can't have it both ways.
How long did he have to prepare for this game during the international break?
Well, what does it matter?
It matters a lot because you've got to be able...
What does it matter?
Because it's like battleships. Do you remember playing battleships when you were younger? Strategic, right? Even when you're playing chess, you're looking at the board. You've always got to be thinking 2 moves ahead. He reacts too late. Don't bring Martin...
Reacts too late to what?
To what's going on in the game. Chelsea game. Reacted too late to being crucified on Tierney's side. I'm not hating on Arteta. I've been very positive the last month.
You make me laugh. You got me laughing.
Just react sooner. Don't, like a player like Martinelli, give him more than 10 minutes. Give him 15, 20 minutes. Don't just bring him on 10 minutes and he could be the hero and save you. In the end,
came on before him.
He did. That was the right move. That's where he got 1 point for that.
But here's the thing.
You got 1 point for that.
But you didn't mention that. All you were doing was mentioning the negative. He didn't do this and he didn't do that. Well,
he's the manager. He got out-coached tonight.
Well, you know what, Sophie? He did bring on Lacazette. He brought Lacazette on with enough time. And we had chances when Lacazette came on. If we're honest, we didn't play great.
Imagine what that would have been like with Martinelli on at the same... Do one of those things managers do. Change them. Bring them all off. Bring the subs on. Go for it. You're at home.
But he did go for it, Soph. We played 5 attacking players.
But conservatively.
No, we didn't play conservative. You didn't say that when we were 1-0 up.
What happened after that, Kev?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, Sophie. If it works for us going forward and getting ahead, the fact of the matter is, Sophie, that when the team starts playing poorly because there's an imbalance, you have to accept it. He did make the change. Saka came off, brought Sambi on for a bit more control, and that didn't work. You like that move. I like that move.
Hunt for the goal. We should have killed them off. I thought my 3-1 was looking good after that first goal.
I thought my 2-0 was looking good when Smith Rowe got the ball and I saw Pepe moving outside him. I thought to slide him in. That's what I'm saying. Slide it. But do you know what, Sophie? I give Arteta 4. I thought, look, for me, the team weren't at the races for 60, 70 minutes tonight. Aubameyang looked himself. We had a couple of, I thought Ramsdale was okay, a few decent performances. But as a team, we weren't great. Lacazette came on and made a difference. And we got out of jail tonight. So I give the manager below average 4.
Yeah, he wasn't. It wasn't great. None of it was great. I thought he got out coached. I thought he got out panached. He got out passioned. He got out everything tonight. You got to be better than that at home. Right, that's it. That's all we got. We drew 2-2. Lacazette saved us in the end. It wasn't great.
It feels worse. It feels worse. It feels like a defeat.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, Lacazette, man, come on. Show some respect, Arteta. If you want to be like, we need men playing this game. Don't rely on kids all the time.
Well, Friday should be interesting.
Hold on 1 second. What do you mean? What's the point in case you're making a point, you agree, then reverting to your original position as if it's checked? What are you talking about? I say it as I see it. We say it as we see it. I've supported him in our wins, but I'm sorry, the team and he deserve criticism tonight. It's not good enough. That's it. Soph, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you didn't want this result for your birthday, but you know what? You got a message from Gilberto Silva, so hopefully that makes it nice. Up. Super Kev, over to you.
Birthday,
close the show.
How many in chat, Soph?
600.
Right, everyone. If you haven't hit the like button on the way in, you certainly can hit the like button like Vinny. Edit, nut it, kiss it. Just touch it on the like button. If you wait that lot down the road, Sophie was going to try and take my head off tonight. She's put Arteta's neck on the block, and I've had to break it. All right? So listen, thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We know it feels like a defeat, but we did get a point. We did get a point. It's no consolation, really, but we did get a point, and we move on. Big game on Friday, and we better be better. Okay? So, squaddies, hostess with the mostest, I salute you all, and have a good evening. At ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.